I'm Jennifer Raish. I am American living in Germany. I called it Sun Quilt for the show because around this time of submission, it's what I had been calling it in my head. And I'm not sure if it's the final title. I was calling it Momo in the beginning because wanting to do a joyful quilt, it was originally inspired by the joy I felt when I got the news of a friend becoming pregnant, and she's someone who had always wanted to become a mother. She comes from a big family herself. So I was very happy for my friend. And I guess when the baby was in her belly, they were calling her Momo, which is Japanese for peach. And so obviously the shape is inspired by that. And she is a former roommate of mine, and I'm guessing I went for these two fabrics at the top to work into the composition because they are hand-me-down from our third roommate, and the three of us had gotten close together in Brooklyn. So it's kind of a way of bringing the three of us back together in this piece. And the lavender tropical, I just have an affinity for tropical prints, and I think it kind of comes from the nostalgic sort of sweet feelings they evoke for me because I grew up in Florida, and that's a fond memory I have of where I grew up, kind of landscape and skies and stuff of Florida. Mm-hmm. And I think it also evokes for me thoughts of my mother's home country, Vietnam, and that's, I think, something I'm thinking a lot about in current work I'm working on, which is, I'm thinking more about like this cross-cultural and cultural differences, and this kind of life experience, because being half Vietnamese, I've always had that in my life, and now I'm American in Germany and running into it very much, so I see this piece as filling in voids that are in my life because I'm now living like far from home and far from friends and family, so it was bringing my friends, like my roommates and me, back together, and there's also this kind of disconnect and void I want to fill in my life that's relating to my mom's home countries. I now see all of that when I look at the piece. A lot of times the story for a quilt comes to me later, but in the making it's just very spontaneous. So, I mean, I don't necessarily expect people to see my story in the quilt. It's just that that's the story behind it for me. But I think it's also fine for people to find their own story and work.